Welcome to Bite-Sized DMing. Today we'll be going over the Ghost Galleon, this week's drop-and-go dungeon. Players will spot the dungeon out on the open sea. The Ghost Galleon surrounds itself in a layer of fog that spans 120 feet in every direction. However, an active perception check, DC 16, can allow the players to spot the ship in the fog. Upon reaching within 60 feet of the ship, a torchlight begins to burn green, sickly, bright light. The ship rocks to and fro on the waves, making a slight creaking noise. Other than that, the ship is deathly still. Approaching the port, the ship has a wooden rope ladder. Each player must succeed a DC 10 dexterity check, or the bars on the 90-foot rope ladder will break, causing a player to fall down below. Players with a gangplank on the ship can simply use that to cross over on the other deck. The deck lays quite bare on this ship, having 4 extra rowboats positioned on the port side of the boat. The ship contains a large green fire in the center of the deck. 2 masts were posted on the deck, as well as 4 non-lit torches sitting near the stern side of the boat. Players will also note that 6 dead corpses are spread out on the deck. These bodies are the corpses of the dead sailors that once ran this ship. They now act as hosts for the ghosts that now roam the ship. The ghosts must remain within 100 feet of the body and wander around the vessel. Should players, for example, toss the bodies overboard, the ghost will end up following the bodies instead of staying on the boat. Players can make a medicine check, DC 14, and tell that the bodies are undamaged besides a hole at the left side of their back. Players can note that the heart is missing in each of these corpses. To the port side of the ship, 1 bucket attached to a rope sits. To the back center of the deck, there is a railing grate that houses a 10 by 10 foot brig, which contains nothing but skeleton bones and a tome that can teach someone to speak and read in Elvish. The captain's quarters is on the port side of the deck. The double doors leading inward are locked, but can be picked with a DC 16. Inside the captain's quarters lay a giant bear rug, a circular carpet, an unlit fireplace, a mounted boarhead, a desk containing a lantern, and a pouch of 300 gold pieces. A post board with a book pinned to it, a chest that is trapped with a sleep spell containing 150 hit points behind it, and a broken wooden chair. The book pinned to the board is torn, damaged, and aged. There are few legible parts, which you can find within the module. The second level of the ship sits at 5.5 feet high. Barrels line the wall, each filled with skulls and bones. Odd statues stand in 2 rows from the middle of the ship, reaching one end to the other. They each stand several feet apart. A trail of blood pools around the feet of one of the statues, leading downward further below deck. Each of these statues are mummies, waiting for commands from the mummy lord sitting 1 deck below. The mummies will move and attack should one of them be moved or be attacked. The third level of the boat reaches 6 feet in height. Blood dots the floor all over it. Near the port end side of the area lies a magic circle at which the mummy lord stands chanting. He is surrounded by a dozen mummies. 6 iron maidens with torn in half bodies lying on the top of them stand between the stairway and the magic circle. Behind the stairs lies 14 corpses. These bodies are all zombies waiting for the mummy lord's command. The magic circle grants several boons to the mummy lord, which you can find in the module. The party can dispel the magic circle by casting a 6th level dispel magic, or by removing the blood from the magic circle itself. The hold of the ship contains around 50 coffins. These graves contain the bodies of the crew of the ship. Until the mummy lord is defeated, the graves will only reveal the bodies inside. The corpses lining the walls will attack anyone that attempts to open the coffins. They will respawn after 1d4 hours after being killed because of the mummy lord's power. If the mummy lord is defeated, the bodies will find a place to rest and the graves will each contain 250 gold pieces, 50 gems each worth 20 gold pieces, and 1 pearl that are each worth 100 gold pieces. There are also several magic items within the graves which you can find in the module. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. For all the information on the Drop and Go dungeon, you can find it down below in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.